Hi, my name is Gabriella. Welcome to my channel. It's been a little while. The beginning of this year has been absolutely crazy, and it's quite literally taken a pandemic for me to slow down enough that I can make videos again. But now that I've hopefully not, but in theory I should be having a lot more free time right now, and I've decided I've got a lot of ideas that have kind of been building up over all this time that I haven't been able to make videos, and so hopefully I'm going to have a lot of content coming your way that will entertain you, keep you occupied, give you ideas for things to do during this horrible time. And I thought I would kick off with a list of things that you can do while you're on lockdown, quarantine, or in between acting jobs, if you're watching this after this whole pandemic's hopefully passed, of things that you can do while you have a lot of free time on your hands that will still further your acting career. And a lot of these things are things that you can still do now, even though most of the acting, musical theatre industry seems to have ground to a halt. Most of these things you should still be able to do right now and be working on yourself and your career. I've got a nice little list of about 13 things, a very unlucky number, I know. And these ideas range from quite obvious ones that you maybe just need a reminder that that's something you could be doing, through to things that you maybe hadn't considered as being related to your acting career but actually can make such a huge difference. So I will stop waffling and we'll get going. Number one. First thing, you've got free time. You can practice. An exercise that I've heard being thrown around quite a lot that you could be doing even when you're not in this period is pick a new monologue or a new song every single week, go through it, analyze it, learn it, have it basically performance or audition ready, and then record yourself doing it every single week. This is really useful just as practice for working on things and developing characters and, you know, singing, like your vocal technique, but it also gets you exposed to new material if you're constantly having to look for new things. Try not to go for very similar things because it can be good to help grow your range, to explore new material. It can also help you get used to learning things quite quickly, which is something you'd probably have to do for an audition. Quite often you can get things through the night before, a couple hours before, and have to learn it in time for the audition. If you're constantly learning new material every single week, then you're just getting your brain used to remembering things really quickly, and doing it on tape is really great so you can look back and watch yourself and see what you're doing, and it can help you work and improve just from self-analysis. Number two is learning a new skill. I'm sure everyone has seen everyone sitting out there going, I'm going to learn a new language, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And so it's probably another very common one, but it can be really useful. Now you've got lots of time on your hands, why not learn something that you can add to your CV, build up your skills? Or this could just mean that you simply refine and work on one of your pre-existing skills. Is your American accent a little dodgy? Maybe sit down, watch some videos, go over it a bit, and improve it a lot so that next time you're called in for a casting for that, or you need to do the accent for something, you're so much better than you were pre-quarantine. So ideas for things that you could potentially learn: accents, languages. You could try pick up some dance. There's loads of videos online. You could try work on things like your flexibility, or a physical skill like juggling, or if you do have an instrument that's lying around the house that you don't know how to play, maybe pick it up and find some videos on YouTube and give it a go. Number three, think about how you're presented online. Is everything as up to date as it possibly could be? Maybe you want to rework some of your things, maybe your social media accounts. Do you have a website? Maybe revamp that or build a new one if you don't have one. Go through any profiles you have on casting sites. Is your CV up to date? Is your show reel up to date and as best as it can possibly be? And if all of these things are really at that point, maybe just capitalize on all of this time that you and everyone else in the world is spending inside and work on your social media presence. So just start engaging a lot with other people and really building up a presence, which links into my next point, which number 4 is to network. You can use this time to build your network because really this industry is all about who you know. So if you can get chatting to as many people as possible and start building links online during this time, Everyone seems to be reaching out online because that's the only place they have to go right now, so use it. Try reach out to other people and build links, or just connect with friends. Maybe try get a group of actor friends together and try do something together. A lot of people I know who are out there performing things right now, and who my teachers know are also performing things, are doing that because they've done their own things together. They've formed their own groups or written their own things. So that's how they've managed to be able to be performing or making films and things, is because they've got a group together of their friends that they can make work with. So if you're feeling like you haven't done anything creative in a while, maybe try get in touch with some of your friends and see if, you know, once this is all over, you can do something together or start planning for it. Which is number 5. You have a lot of time. Putting on events and, you know, making short films and things, that takes a lot of planning. You could do that planning now. Get your planning done, try rehearse some things. You can go around and be looking for things like locations, getting teams together. If you have ideas for any creative project, plan it now. And number 6, also very similar, if you've got ideas for a project or a new project, get creating, get writing. Maybe you're not a writer yourself, but you've got ideas. Try using your networking skills to help you find someone who you can collaborate with. You know, you don't need to be a writer to be able to create. Number 7, research. Similar to networking almost, it's all about who you know, and so the more information you know about everyone in your industry, the better. If you're applying for drama schools, maybe now is your time to sit down and do some really deep diving into drama schools, and maybe there's some you haven't come across before that you uncover, or you learn more about their specific courses. I'm sure right now most drama schools are shutting early and they're all working from home. They're not in much contact with their students. They'd be happy to talk to prospective students about what's going on. Try contact alumni. If you're thinking of applying to agents, go out and really do your research on them. What is their talent like? Do they look like they have a space on their books for you? What sort of work are they getting their clients? Do you think they'd be a good fit? Maybe look at people who are submitting films to film festivals or production companies for West End theatres or smaller local theatres near you who is usually performing there. The more knowledge you have about the industry, the better, because it really is such a small world. It's simultaneously a really massive industry and a really small one. The more you know about it, the better. Which leads me to number 8, and that is to take in creativity. Follow a lot of these people that you find when you're doing your research into the industry. Not only will it keep you in the loop with what's going on and give you ideas about what they're doing, maybe it's something you could get involved with as well, but it will inspire you. And inspiration when you're trying to be a creative person is key. So other forms of creativity that you can take in: reading, not just books, but scripts. And this ties into the whole monologue thing that I was talking about earlier, and helping expand your knowledge of material that's out there. But also you can watch TV programs, films, YouTube clips. You can even play games. Any form of something creative that you can take in that will inspire you is great. Go out and find things that inspire you during this time, and then, you know, your creative juices will get going, and then you can go out and be creative. And also just drawing on other forms of inspiration might, you know, give you an idea for something that you're working on, or like the way that you portray a certain character. As well as that, just, I mean, watching, you know, theatre, film. There's a lot of theatre programs being streamed or put up online for free or for small donations right now, seeing as most theatres are shut. So just watching other actors at work, not only is it inspirational, but it can be really educational. And number 9, quite difficult right now because there don't seem to be many jobs around, but when you're in between jobs, you should always just be applying for jobs. Even if you've got an agent. I mean, I don't know how all agents are, but from what I've heard, the majority of them are okay with you finding your own work. But yeah, if you do have an agent, they have very difficult jobs, help them out. If you don't, you should be applying for jobs all the time anyway. So this is just your reminder. 10, very similar to some points we've already had, but I thought it's just a good reminder to keep yourself in good shape. I'm not saying you need to maintain a certain physical look, but rather a certain state. Like, if you are a musical theatre performer and you dance a lot, you don't want to not dance for 3 months just because you haven't had a job, because when you get called in for an audition after 3 months and you haven't danced that entire time, it's probably not going to be your best audition. So just keep things ticking over. Make sure that you're healthy, because acting requires your body, it requires you to be healthy. So just make sure you're looking after yourself and staying in a healthy state, that you're staying active, so that when you do get these calls for auditions and things, you're physically ready for them. And 11 is obviously the other side of that. Make sure your mental health is on top of it as well. You know, think about meditation, yoga. I'm not going to give a whole lecture on how to look after your mental health, but something that I saw recently that's sort of in line with working towards your acting career goals is positive affirmations and vision boards. I did a degree in psychology, so I'm going to also try not to get too deep into all of that. Vision boards are not only good fun to make, but they can be really good for your outlook on life, and just visualization of your goals, basically visualizing what you want as your goals and thinking about how you're going to get there. A thing that I tend to do, like I'm particularly bad for, is when I have a negative perception of something, I will look for anything out there that reinforces my negative belief. So if I'm convinced someone doesn't like me, I will watch their body language, and even if they're saying something completely different, if I see telltale signs in their body language that they don't like me, or if they say something with the wrong tone of voice, I'll be like, oh, of course they don't like me. And I'll ignore all of the positive signs they may be showing. And humans are very good at ignoring the positive signs, and it's very difficult to retrain your brain. But if you have a vision board and you have a very positive attitude towards it, which can be very hard to train yourself to do, but if you can work so that you are only thinking positively towards it, not thinking about the things you don't have, but the things you want, and try tune your brain towards looking at the positives instead of the negatives, often people become more successful because their brain picks up on the positive aspects instead of the negative ones. And if you have that in relation with your vision board and working towards your goals, then it can help you work towards that. And I have no idea if I've explained this very well, but if there's only one thing you take away from this, vision boards are good fun. And if you've got time, you're stuck indoors, why not make one? Number 12, also related towards, you know, keeping in good mental health and mental spirits. Find other things that you enjoy doing that you can do in your downtime and do them. If you're focused on your acting career non-stop, you will go insane. No matter how much you love something, you need a break from it, and you need a break from it that isn't then focused towards that as well. There was one point I had literally everything was a list. Like, there were TV shows I wanted to watch, so even if I was watching a TV show, it felt like something I had to be doing because, or not had to be doing, but it felt like something that was geared towards helping me progress my career because it was on my to-do list. It was, you know, that counts as sort of like taking in creativity to get ideas, watching other people for their acting practice. Like, find things that are completely unrelated to acting and your chosen career path, and just find a few things that you really enjoy, and then sort of get yourself set up so that you can do them whenever you need a chill, like now or later on. I've just now realised I may have missed off one of my points and I may have misnumbered them on my list, but so we're chucking in a random point here because it sort of works, and I may have forgotten it before and I don't know where I forgot it, but it's here now. And that is, so I think we're on 13 now, but I could be very wrong. 13 is to organise yourself, get organised, organise your life. If your room's a state, tidy it. If your drawers could really do with going through, go through them. If you haven't got a single thing planned, maybe make some plans. If you've got things that need doing but you don't have a complete list of them anywhere, make a complete list so you don't forget things. I'm a very organised person. I don't always get things done out of being organised, but I at least know what I should be doing all the time. And I definitely track all the things that I'm meant to be doing, all the things that I need to do, etc. I know what I'm meant to be doing even if I don't always do it. I don't forget about that. Well, if I forget about things, I've got them written down somewhere. And I can't not plan. But I know everyone's different. And, you know, maybe now if you've got some downtime, reassess some of your life plans, if you've got life plans, or just your short-term goals, long-term goals. If you don't have any, maybe you could set some. You've got a lot of free time, you can do some planning. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to like plan everything and anything, and if planning isn't your thing, you don't need to do it, but maybe you've got some time, get organised. And finally, so I think we're on point 14 now, that is work on some side hustles. Acting is notoriously a difficult industry, and so many people have survival jobs that they absolutely hate. So maybe use this time to try come up with ideas for side hustles that could bring you in money that you actually enjoy. You've got a lot of time where people are being forced to work from home or not being allowed into work. A lot of people can't go to work. So while you're forced to basically not be doing anything, you won't often get times like that. So really use it to try come up with some solid business ideas, or like work on applications for jobs that you would be able to do part-time, that would be flexible. Maybe do some research into jobs that would be flexible. Or if you've got ideas for something that you could do, a skill that you could provide, might not even be related to acting in any way. If you're good at accents, you could maybe think about offering accent coaching. So maybe some things will be related to acting, but maybe you're good at something that is completely unrelated. Like maybe you're really good at maths, you can offer maths coaching or something. And maybe try set yourself up a website for that, like, or gauge interest in what you're able to offer. Use this time now to get yourself set up. Maybe, for example, for me, I've been editing YouTube videos for a couple of years, and I am very seriously considering offering my services as a showreel editor. And so I'm thinking about using this time. If anyone right now watching this, you know, within a couple of weeks of it being put up, is wanting a showreel edited or any other kind of video being edited for them, get in touch, because I might be looking to put together a portfolio of stuff, and I would maybe be willing to do some free or very cheap edits for you. So yeah, you can use this time to build a portfolio of things that you're able to do, because actors need side hustles really. Unless you get very successful very quickly, which most people don't, you're going to need something else to keep you going. And having a side hustle that you enjoy, let me tell you, as someone who currently works part-time in hospitality, if I could do something I actually enjoy as a side hustle, oh my god, my life would be like complete. So there we have, there's about 14 things I think. Honestly can't remember anymore, my numbering went a little bit skew-iff, and but I hope I've given you some ideas or reminded you of some things that you could maybe be doing, not just to be productive, but to look after yourself and get yourself set up so that when this period is over, and even if you're watching this later once this whole pandemic is hopefully over, and you're just having time off from acting, by choice or not, it'll give you ideas of things that you can be doing so that when you're back out there, you're really well set up. And obviously if you have any other ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm going to be using this to make sure that I'm doing all the things I need to be doing to work on my career. And so I would love to hear any more suggestions, but let me know if you're working on any of these things. As I said, now is a really great time for networking and just being inspired by hearing what other people are doing. So if you're doing anything, I would also really love to hear. And if you've enjoyed this, make sure to like it and subscribe it, because I'm going to be doing so many more videos related to acting and musical theatre and all those sorts of like behind the scenes things and advice, as well as hopefully some more song covers. I'm working on some like short film things, but I might just be using this quarantine time to plan them, not actually make them. But either way, I have loads of content ideas, so make sure to stick around if you want to keep up to date with all of those. And I hope to see you really soon. Okay, bye!